born, Goswamiji said, night wanted to come and take Bhagwan's darshan. But sun stayed there for 1 month. She could not come and take Bhagwan's darshan. So Ayodhya Vasis, they figured out in between way where they put so much of color in the air, gulala, that it became dusk and Ratri came and took Bhagwan's darshan. That is the holy prasanga in Ramcharitmanas. Bhagwan Krishna you find many, but Bhagwan Rama you have to search where he has played. Yanmaya vashavarti vishwamakhilam brahmadi deva sura yat sattva-damrushaiva bhati sakalam rajjau yatha her brahmah yat padaplavamekame hi bhavam bodhe sthitir shavata Vandeham tamashesha karana param Ramakhyamisham harim Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Om 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 Jaya Jaya Ram Om Jaya Jaya Ram Om Siyawar Ramachandra ki jai Satgurunath Maharaj ki jai. After 127 Doha. Suni muni bachan prem ras sane sakuchi Rama man mahu musukane Balmiki hasi kahi bahore Bani madhura amiya rasa bore Sunahu Rama ab kahu niketa Jahan basahu siya lakhana sameta जिनके श्रवण समुद्र समाना कथा तुम्हारी सुभग सरिनाना भरहि निरंतर हो ही न पूरे तिनके ही तुम कहो गृहरूरे लोचन चातक जिन्ह करि राखे रहि दरस जलधर अभिलाषे निदरहि सरित सिंधु सर भारी रूप बिंदु जल हो ही सुखारी तिनके हृदय सदन सुखदायक बसहु बंधु सिय सहर घुनायक जस तुम्हार मानस बिमल अंसिनि जीहा जासु मुक्ता हल गुण गण छुनई राम बसहु हियतासु प्रभु प्रसाद सुचि सुभग सुबासा सादर जासु लहई नित नासा तुम ही निवेदित भोजन करही प्रभु प्रसाद पट भूषण धरही सीसन वही सुर गुर द्विज देखी प्रीति सहित करि विनय विशेषी करनित करहि राम पद पूजा राम भरोस हृदय नहीं दूजा चरण राम तीरथ चली जाहि राम बसहु तिन्ह के मन माहि मंत्र राजुनित जपहि तुम्हारा पूजहि तुमहि सहित परिवार तर्पण होम करहि विधि नाना विप्र जेवाई देहि बहुदाना तुम्हते अधिक गुरहि जिय जानी, सकल भाय से वही सन मानी। सबु करि मागहि एक फलु, राम चरण रति हो। तिनके मन मंदिर बसहु, सिय रघुनंदन दो। काम कोह मद मानन मोह, लोभन क्षोभन रागन द्रोह। जिनके कपट दंभ नहीं माया, तिन्हके हृदय बसहु रघुराया। सबके प्रिय सबके हितकारी, दुख सुख सरिस प्रशंसा गारी। कहीं सत्य प्रिय बचन बिचारी, जागत सोवत सरन तुम्हारी। तुम ही छाड़ि गति दूसरी नाही, राम बसहु तिन्ह के मन माही। जननी सम जानहि पर नारी, धनु पराव विषते विष भारी। जे हर्षहि पर संपत्ति देखी, दुखित होहि पर विपत्ति विशेषी। जिनहि राम तुम प्राण पियारे, तिन्हके मन शुभ सदन तुम्हारे। स्वामी सखा पितु मातु गुर, जिनके सब तुम तात। मन मंदिर तिन्हके बसहु, सिय सहित दो भ्रात। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। Bhagwan had asked one simple question to Valmiki Rishi, please tell me a place where I should stay. Valmiki Rishi took this opportunity to actually mention different sadhanas, having done which Bhagwan will come and stay in that sadhaka's heart. The beauty of this sadhana is Bhagwan doesn't have to come from outside. One who is already in our heart, but as though not available to us. Not available to us with his full glory. So that sadhana, which will manifest this glory for us, that elaboration is done in this prasanga. It is just like having a very precious stone with us, but not knowing what it is. It is possible that this person will trade it off for something very small. Like that it is said, Antaryami Bhagwan, that blissful Lord, is seated in all our hearts. And it is very much possible that for something in this world, the sadhaka can let go of this Bhagwan. Let go of Bhagwan means do tiraskaranam of the Lord. This we saw in Ishavasya also. Asurya namate lokaha andhena tamasavrutaha tamste prithyaabhigachanti eke chatmahano janaha. Those who ignore the self, they are called as atmahanaha. Means that Bhagwan who was ever present, whole life went by without noticing his greatness. The first step towards recognizing the greatness of the Lord, Valmiki Rishi says, is Shravanam. No day should go by without Shravanam. Just like we have several other things in our routine, say if not 1 hour, at least half an hour. If not half an hour, at least 15 minutes. If not 15 minutes, at least read 1 verse of Bhagavad Gita. Children who go to college, that is their Shravanam. Huh? So you can't expect them to do 1 hour Shravanam every day. Have something by which you will get some higher perspective. We will not get caught up by immediate things. That is what Shravanam does. And if somebody can do Ghanagora Shravanam means Vidhivat Shravanam. Okay, all Sanskrit words, one for the other. Vidhivat means systematically doing Shravanam, building concepts one on top of the another. That Shravanam has to remove ignorance. If we are alert, if we have put forth effort, you see that Shravanam is so powerful, it will put all our erroneous ideas aside and knowledge has to take place. If it doesn't take place, it's a wonder. That is the Shravanam. First sadhana, which will make sure that Bhagwan comes and lives in our heart. And this we saw elaborately. Vedanta Shravanam, Dharma-related Shravanam, and devotional Shravanam. All three are there. And the sadhaka never gets tired, just like the ocean doesn't get tired of river water coming in. This TV is not on, right? You can turn it off. Because live is here. Why do you need TV? So that Shravanam can be of Dharma, devotional text, or Vedanta. Either three of it. And he never gets tired of doing the Shravanam because he's finding some kind of rasa in that. This topic we were seeing in Hanuman Chalisa. We think if we listen to the same thing again, over and over again, it becomes repetitive, it becomes boring. Our scriptures say, whatever we repeat, in that thing we get rasa. The first time we studied Ramcharitmanas, first time we started understanding the verses, it is possible we would find it very simple, not too much of depth. But if you keep doing it over and over again, in that same subject matter, we get insight, we get taste. So that keeps a sadhaka glued to the text. Again and again he goes back to that same text. That is Shravanam, first sadhana. Second one was Rupa Sakti, wanting to see the form of the Lord. That is a single pointed desire. This is Bhagwan, I want your darshan alone. Indicating the purity of mind, indicating his conviction in the truth. Third one was for a speaker who very carefully chooses the glories of the Lord, sings the glories of Bhagwan, like the swan bird finding gems in Manasarovar. Fourth sadhana was for a grahastha-ashrama sadhaka. That is another beauty of this whole Chauda Bhuvan. Nobody is left out. We cannot complain saying that, oh, I am going through this or I am in this stage of life. That is why I cannot have Bhagwan. I said nothing is left out. Everybody is given some sadhana. For a grahastha-ashrami sadhaka, Valmiki Rishi, he says, have lot of variety. Different things should be there in life. Life should not be the same and colorless. Holy, that is one of the symbolism. May there be lot of color and little bit of unorganized color also. See, Holi, we don't make a drawing and then fill colors, right? Just like that, you put colors. But in that also there is a beauty. All this abstract painting, you wonder why is it so expensive? Just looks like color splashed here and there. But there is beauty even there. It is like that our life should be filled with different things. Grahastha-ashrami sadhaka, keep in mind the adhikari also. For that sadhaka, the only criteria Goswami puts is first offering it to Bhagwan as Naivedyam, then accepting that as Prasada. making an ordinary thing into divine. That is the power of Naivedyam. That is the power of Prasad. When Puja Swamiji was here on Navadha Bhakti for 6 days, we heard that story of Swamiji going to one sweet shop and getting that pedas for 2 rupees, bargaining, getting those sweets, then going all the way to the temple, and that same peda again gotten back becomes so divine. Like that, if you are able to translate every single positions we have into prasada. That is why he started from Pata Bhushana also. Pata means clothes, Bhushana means jewelry. All of that taking as Bhagwan's prasada. Then he said, one thing he does regularly is puja. The worship of Bhagwan in whatever way he can do. Whenever he gets time, does elaborate puja. Whenever he can do, whatever little he can do, does that regularly. If Dravya puja is not possible, then Manasika puja at least one should do. Then once in a while he goes on a pilgrimage also with lot of faith. Has this desire to go for Tirtha Kshetra, which reminds him of the glory of Bhagwan, gives him conviction. Even if there are inconveniences, if mind is elevated, mind is in something higher, none of those difficulties or inconvenience bothers us. But if mind is disturbed, even if there is everything around, small little thing going here and there can disturb us. So pilgrimage is a glimpse of how strong our mind is. That he does once in a while. Now once you do sadhana and get taste in it, we ourselves want to do it more sincerely, spend more time. One of our Swamiji would say, वानप्रस्थ आश्रम आपके साधना का स्वर्ण युग है. Vanaprastha ashrama is the golden era of your sadhana, provided we have sown the seeds in grahastha ashrama. Otherwise, he said, humorously, TV alone is the shravanam. TV alone is sharanam. That alone will be shravanam. Because in grahastha ashrama, we don't have time, but we have interest. In Vanaprastha ashrama, we have time, but we should protect our interest. And it will not happen until in whatever time he gets, there he has done his sadhana and prays to Bhagavan that this is what I want in my life. To do more of Shravanam, more of other sadhanas, that is what I want. So now his sadhana has become a little subtler. Does more japa. Less support compared to pujanam. Japa is less support. Not too much going around, mind is withdrawn, and repeating the same thing over and over again. See, that is the difference between bhajan and japa. In bhajan, you have laya and tala. Sura, laya, tala, everything is there. Variety is there. But in japa, the same thing you have to keep repeating. So that's why it becomes subtler. And along with the name, he remembers the Lord. It is not mechanical japa. Along with the name, he remembers Bhagavan and glory of the Lord also, such that his mind can stay only in that Ishtadevata's name. So that sadhana he does. And whenever he gets a chance, does pujanam of the Lord along with family. Pujahi tumahi sahita parivara. You would generally notice if there are 4 or 5 people in a family, everybody thinks differently. It is just like one chariot having 5 horses, and each horse wanting to go in different direction. Imagine the state of that chariot. Huh? So our Rishi said, doesn't matter if it is so. Let us start from where we are. Let us have one activity where all of us are seeing in the same direction. And that activity was small puja, small arti. If not every day, at least on Sunday or weekends, whenever we get time. We say one short prayer we will do together where all of us are tuned to the same altar. And we'll notice the power of this auto-tuning. Even without asking, they themselves will come. Because all these practices are such, only when we start doing it, we realize how much benefit is there. But to start it or to take ourselves to that practice, that is where the steepest climb is. Recently, when I was in India, I was speaking in one school. They have assembly, half an hour. And around 400 kids, first grade to 12th grade, all of them are sitting. And this is a, they call it as an aided school, government and private, they run it. Every day they chant 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Before starting the school, morning assembly, 12th chapter, then 10-minute meditation, then their regular prayers, and then one presentation will be there, then they go. And what I noticed is, in that 10-minute meditation, after 12th chapter, everybody was sitting calm, still, and eyes closed. Generally, what you find is meditation means you'll open your eye and look if somebody else is seeing you. In that age, that is how it is. And then the principal, I was just talking to him that how did you train them? 400 kids, pin drop silence, they're able to sit for the 10-minute meditation. He said, we did not train. They themselves like this meditation. Means we did not give any instruction because they were made to do this for the last so many years. Mind gets tuned that for this time, I have to be quiet. And wherever we get rasa, wherever we get taste, there we want to go again. So all these prayers for family, they are also like this. The most difficult part will be to start. But once it is started, I say that will keep the family together. Then Tarpana Homa, Karahi Bidyanana, different oblations he offers, does Tarpanam of Pitrus whenever it is to be done. Tumate Adhika Gurahi Jiyajani has reverence for teacher more than Bhagwan. Tumate Adhika Gurahi Jiyajani Sakala Bhaya Sevahi Sanaman, and gives lot of reverence and respect. Sabakari Magahi Ekuphalu. Having done everything, what is the final result they are seeking? Bhagwan, may our mind merge in you. They are not seeking Bhagwan for the world. They are seeking Bhagwan for Bhagwan's sake. Sabukari Magahi Ekuphalu Ramacharana Rati ho. Rati means that. One is we remember with effort. And second is we effortlessly remember. Whatever we effortlessly remember, there we are having Rati. Another word for Rati is Ramanam. Atma Ramanam. So in Vedanta it will be said, we should get Atma Rati. Yastva Atma Rati Revasyat Atma Truptascha Manavaha. One who can revel in Atma, put mind in Atma. That is what they are seeking, to put their mind in Bhagwan. Tinake mana mandira basahu. Their mind is like a temple only. Bhagwan, please go and live in their heart. This was just a recap, whatever we had seen. how many are done? 5. Okay. So the whole thing is 5 only, from mantra raju japa, from there until Tinakemana mandira basahu siya raghunandana do. Whole thing is one sadhana. Just like for Grahastha-ashrami sadhaka, we had several sadhanas, right? Several chaupais were there. Like that, for this mantra raju onwards is one sadhana, one sadhaka until 129. Now the next one is interesting. There is no a particular action. It is actually state of mind of a sadhaka who has done sadhana. So next devotee, Bhagwan doesn't point out sadhana, he points out result of sadhana. Somebody who has lived a disciplined life, done their sadhanas well, how will their mind be? Bhagwan Shankaracharya in Dhanyashtakam calls this person as the most blessed person. He didn't conquer outer enemies. He didn't put forth effort in conquering outer enemies. He put forth effort in conquering inner enemies. The leader of all these enemies is kama, desire. Gurudev would say, this mind of ours is like a secretary. Whenever we get upset, whenever we feel sad, or whenever we are just sitting quietly also, and we feel some kind of incompleteness, that time this mind comes and says, try doing this, you'll be happy. Try drinking a cup of coffee. Try walking out. Try calling this person. Go and meet your friend, whatever those things are. Or go and buy this thing. Then you'll be happy. He said that is what this mind does, constantly gives suggestions. The moment we say yes, he said that is called as desire. Moment we say yes to the suggestion of this mind, that is called as desire. This mind doesn't have the power to bother a jnani. Because jnani says, I have nothing to do with you. Mind, when it comes with suggestions, that if you get this, you'll be happy. If you get this object, you'll be happy. Jnani says, I am Nitya Trupta Atma. Which Vishaya is there, which object is there, which can make me complete. But that same Kamana, it will bother a sadhaka. So this sadhaka is somebody who has won over that Kamana, won over that desire, doesn't allow any sankalpa, erroneous sankalpa, to take place. Shiva Sankalpa Suktam, we saw 4 different facets, how sankalpa emerges. What is the first one? It exists. So there only he cuts this sankalpa. He says, other than Brahma, nothing exists. Why should I make sankalpa for a mithya vastu? Then the second one is, it has joy in it. There is glamour. He has done sufficient mananam. He can see forward also. Not only from past experience, but he can see hereafter also. He says there is nothing in this world which has inherent joy as its nature. In fact, it's opposite. Third was, it will make me happy. If I get it, I will become happy. He says, I am Ananda Swarupa. Why do I need something to be happy? And the last one is, it is attainable. I can become one with it. There he says, I have to become one with Bhagavan, not any outside object. On the strength of this, he is able to cut sankalpa. Remember the story of sage monkey, right? Two calves were there. Camel lifts the calves and starts running. And he runs after it, comes back and says, whatever things I have started, everything goes out of whack. Why does it happen to me? But then he comes and says, there is nothing wrong outside. It is my sankalpa which is giving me this trouble. So not to make any sankalpa for anything outside. Shubha sankalpa is for sadhana. Shubha sankalpa is for Bhagavan. So for that thing, he does. So first enemy gone is kama. And Bhagavan in Bhagavad Gita says, this desire is not our inherent nature. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan. Who is a sthita prajna? Who is a man of wisdom? Bhagavan says, one from whom desires have walked away. Prajahati yada kaman. Desires have left him. He says, nothing will happen in this person. No matter how much we knock, doesn't open the door. And sarvan partha manogatan. Manogatan means desire is not in Atma. Desire is not in the self, it is in mind. Simple thing is, whatever we can let go of, that is not our essential nature. Desire doesn't stay with us all the time. I said that is not who we are. So this kamana he has let gone of. Along with kamana, krodha also leaves. Moment desire leaves, strong opinion leaves, anger arising from that also leaves. So anger arises from strong desire. Third one is mada. Whenever desire is fulfilled repeatedly, what arises from that is pride. And Bhagwan's way of breaking our pride is, he will keep some failures in between. It's a good thing. In a sadhaka's life, to get failures in between in different things that he does, that reminds him that the one who is controlling is Bhagwan. Asafalta. Asafalta ka raz yah bhi ho sakta hai. Sometimes we say, what is the secret of success? That is okay. But there is a secret of failure also. That it will make us humble and it will remind us the real control is somebody else. With that, he can let go of mada. Kama gone, krodha will go away. Mada goes away by reflecting upon our own life experiences. Manana moha. Mana means whichever thing we have sought, whichever thing we really want, and it has come. Based on that thing, we start defining ourselves. That is called as mana. Ma means to measure. Pramana means measuring very well. That is how the word pramana comes. This one is called as abhimana. Means erroneously measuring ourselves with some kind of external thing. That also he has let gone of. And not having any kind of erroneous understanding. Moha means that. Goswamiji in Vinay Patrika he says, Ravana is moha, delusion. Somebody who is divine, somebody who is God, he takes Bhagwan to be ordinary person. That is what delusion does. Galat samajh. Wrong understanding, misunderstanding. His brother is Ahankara, Kumbhakarna. And his son is Indrajit. And Indrajit represents kama, desire. So moha is at the root. From moha emerges kama. What in Vedanta we call as avidya kama karma. At the root is delusion, not knowing our own true nature, thinking ourselves to be finite. From that came this desire. From desire comes ragadvesha. Means wherever we have strong attachment, the first emotion is raga. Put it other way, wherever we have strong desire, the first result of that desire is attachment. Moment attachment comes, hatred has to be there. They come in pairs. Moment we are attached to something very intensely, raga comes, the opposite vritti of that is dvesha. So the sadhaka is somebody who is able to manage this raga and dvesha. To an extent that it doesn't force him to do adharma. Because nobody can be free from raga dvesha 100%. Except some Siddha Mahatma. He says sadhaka, their stage will be, they will have some or the other preferences. Every sense organ has a preference, right? You say, which color do you like? No, I like all colors. Which kind of cuisine do you like? Any cuisine is okay. If you don't have preference for one sense organ, it will be compensated by other sense organ. This is how our human mind is. We might not have preference for cuisine. You see, it will be compensated by some other kind of preference. Every sense organ has some or the other preferences. That is how whole industry runs. Right? $1 million industry behind every sense organ. You have eyes, so many colors. Sound, different genres, different types of music. Comforters, that is touch, sense organ. All different types are there. You cannot say, I have no preference. Some preference will be there, but as long as our mind is not preoccupied by those preferences. Otherwise, 3 hours we spend trying to pick something and come out without taking anything. Because that preference only sways us so much here and there. The sadhaka is not carried away in that way. These points we had seen in 3rd chapter, Bhagavad Gita. Tayor na vashamagachet. Bhagavan says preferences are there, but don't get overpowered by them so much that it keeps our mind busy or forces us into doing adharma. What was the example there? Dhritarashtra. Every parent will love the child. There is nothing strange about it. But if that raga becomes so overpowering that it pushes somebody to do adharma, that is when that sadhaka is warned. Dashrath Maharaj also loved his son. But when he wanted to appoint as the king, he calls all ministers. He says, I being his father will never see any shortcoming. Please tell me if there is any kind of different perspective that I need to think through. That is this, no ragadvesha. With that, what happened? He doesn't have any agitation in his heart. Kshobha means some kind of anxiety, some kind of agitation. There is no kshobha. And because he has thought through the limitations of objects, there is no lobha also. Lobha means whatever good thing we have, whatever thing we think will give joy, we want more of it. Sukhad vastu. We never have lobha for dukkhada vastu. Whatever we think gives us joy, that thing we want more and more. But he says, other than Bhagwan, there is no object which can give me that joy. This first line looks very simple, but in fighting this battle, several janmas can go. That's why Bhagavan Shankaracharya writes one full verse in Dhanyashtakam on this sadhaka. He says they spend their time, they spend their energy in conquering their inner enemies. That person is a king, he says. What is the point of a king who has to constantly battle with enemies? That king cannot do any productive work. All his time is spent in battling with inner enemies. So like this sadhaka, every now and then kama attacks, every now and then krodha attacks, lobha comes, raga dvesha comes. Productive time for that mind is very little. This is that sadhaka who has conquered inner enemies. Jinake kapata damba nahi maya. Now his mind is more and more purer. Doesn't have kapata. Kapata means anyatha prakatanam. Or anyatha prakatanam, you can put it with maya. To show something as different. To show something different than what it is, that is called as maya. Kapata means to hide. In Maricha Prasanga, we call Maricha as Kapata Mruga. Means he hid his true nature and projected something else. From Kapata only, Kapata comes. Kapata means where you hide different things or keep things away from seeing. That is called as Kapata. And Dambha generally we translate as pride. But in 13th chapter, Amanitvam Adambitvam, there Bhagavan Shankaracharya writes, Dambha means Swadharma Prakatikaranam, showing off virtues that we have. Swadharma means values or virtues that a person has. Prakatikaranam means showing off or expressing. Instead of showing off, you can say expressing. Bhagavan says that is called as Dambha. Now you wonder, generally we say pride means false pride, right? You are bragging about something which you are not. You say that person has pride. But here Bhagavan says if you express that value or virtue which you already have, that is called as Dambha. Without Mahatma's commentaries, without their mananam, you would not understand any of these things. All of that is their tapasya. We just have to benefit. They say, whatever quality we express, that comes out. So if you express good qualities, that came out and it stayed out. Whatever we hide stays inside. So what do we hide? Good qualities or shortcomings? Shortcomings. So shortcomings stayed inside. So what happened here? Whatever good qualities were there, they went away by expressing. And whatever shortcomings were there, they stayed inside by hiding. So kapata means to hide, damba means to show off. But even in expressing or showing off, we say those were good qualities only. Whatever he learnt, either it is truthfulness or whatever other qualities were there, all those things he expressed, they as though went away. And erroneous things, whatever he was struggling with, that he kept inside and that remained. Here it is said, we should do the opposite. Whatever shortcomings we have, that we should express. Not in front of everybody. In front of people in whom we have Shraddha. If anger is bothering, he says express that challenge in front of somebody in whom you have trust and try to work upon it. And whatever good things we have, not expressing them, that itself is great sadhana. One Mahatma Ji, he was asked, what is Siddhi? What is this supernatural power? He said, having supernatural power and not expressing it is Siddhi. Having this ability to do many things, but not expressing them, that is Siddhi. Same thing applies to values also, or any sadhana. It is said, more it is done without expressing, it takes root and it grows. Three things are put together, which increase by hiding. One is roga, disease. It is more we hide that disease increases. Second one is papa, sin. More we hide some sin, tendency to commit that sin increases. Third one is sadhana. More it is done secretly, more it is done quietly, stronger it takes root. That is the sadhaka who has understood how this mind works. Whatever good qualities are there, that he keeps inside. Whatever shortcomings are there, that he expresses in front of some Shraddheya person. One who is our well-wisher, one who really wants us to improve. Jinake kapata damba nahi maya. Maya means anyatha prakatanam. Drigdrishya Viveka, we had seen that. Maya Shabda. Hiding and misguiding. Like a magician, he will hide something and project something else. That is Maya. So this sadhaka's heart is very pure. He has won over all these three things. Tinake hrudaya basahu ragraya. Bhagwan, please go and stay in their heart. Okay, this is sixth sadhaka, sixth home. Now the seventh one. Sabake priya, sabake hitakari. This sadhaka is somebody who is dear to everybody. Very tall goal, He says, few people we can be dear to. Many people we can be dear to. But how can some be sabake priya? What sadhana did he do? It is mentioned right there. Sabake hitakari. He always thought of good of others. Always thought of everybody's well-being. That person became dearest of everybody. Now this we don't have to go too far. If there is a family where one individual is there who is always thinking about good of others, and whenever we have to think good of others, it will come at the cost of individual sacrifice. And that this person does. What do you think will be that person's feeling in that family? Amongst those people, according to Goswamiji, he says he'll become sabake priya, sabake hitakari. Sabake hitakari is sadhana, sabake priya is result, phalashruti. In 12th chapter, Bhagavan says, Sarva Bhuta Hite Rataha. But that is mentioned as an expression of knowledge. Jnani is somebody who is always thinking about good of others. But for a sadhaka, it becomes, Jnani is thinking good of others because he sees himself in everybody. That is his natural expression of knowledge. But for a sadhaka, it becomes sadhana. Means he's always thinking, how can I give more than what I take? That is another secret of being priya. Is that we should give something which is priya to others. And there is one Subhashita, right? Vachane ka daridrata. To speak good words, he said there is no cost. And that is something which is dear to everybody. He said that sadhana also he does. Sabake priya, sabake hitakari. Sabake hitakari is sadhana, and sabake priya is phalashruti. Does this ring a bell from Kenopanishad? Something from Kenopanishad? There was an upasana called as Tadvanam. Tadvanam iti upasitavyam. The name of Bhagwan is Tadvanam. Means the most worshipful Bhagwan whom everybody loves in their own heart. The sadhaka who meditates upon that Lord in this way becomes dear to everybody. Do you remember that Phalashruti was there? Kenopanishad? If not, you can go and check. Tasya Tadvanam Nama. Everybody loves that person because he sees Bhagwan in everybody. That Bhagwan who is of this nature, whom everyone loves, in his own heart also he sees in the same way. That is this Phalashruti. Sabake priya, sabake hitakari. What happened with this? Dukha sukha sarisa prasamsa gari. If there is joy and if there is sorrow, in both things he is equanimous. Dukha sukha, joy and sorrow, or sorrow and joy. Prasamsa gari. Prasamsa means praise. And gari here means criticism. In both these things, he is able to remain equanimous. In praise, doesn't get elated. In criticism, doesn't get deflated. Means his mind, he has developed the ability to let go. Otherwise, this mind will hold on to one of these opposites. If there is sukham, it will hold on to sukham in such a way, doesn't want to let go. If there is dukkham, hold on to it in such a way, it will not let go. If praise comes, hold on to that. In psychology, they say thought fixation. Thought fixation, that you hold on to it such a way, you don't want to leave it. And on the other side, if there is criticism, that also he will hold on to. But this sadhaka is somebody whose mind is available to invest in his main goal. That is the greatest blessing of this particular chaupai. Dukha sukha sarisa prasamsa gari. Means if I hold on to something with one hand, that hand is not available to me. And later I realized my main thing to hold on to was this, not this. So being able to let go of something which is not my goal, that this sadhaka has developed. Secret of having an available mind, which in other words we call as forgiveness also. Kshama. Sometimes we feel forgiveness is a sign of weakness. Gurudev's quote is there, right? He says, forgiveness is the nature of the strong. What has it given us? He says it has given us a mind which I can invest in my main goal. That is the sadhaka, dukha sukha sarisa prasamsagari. Kahahi satya priya bachana bichari. Whenever he has to speak, first qualification is he will think and speak. Bichari means he will think. And make sure that it is factual. Satya. At the same time, when he speaks that truth, he will make sure it is presented in a way that it is priya also. Kahahi satya priya bachana bichari. Bachana means speech. Bichari means he will think verify the fact, and then present it in a way that it is dear. One of our Swamiji, he said people come to him and say, Swamiji, satya bahut kadwa hota hai. He said, ऐसा तो ट्रक के पीछे लिखा होता है. Don't make your siddhanta based on lines you just hear in other places. You see, in every place, scripture has this injunction. Satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat. Along with truth, put forth effort that it is presented in a dear way. Kahi satya priya, bachana bichari. Next one is a beautiful sadhana. He says, Jagata sovata sarana tumhari. While waking and sleeping, or when he wakes up, when he goes to sleep, he takes shelter in Bhagwan. Somebody like Vibhishan ji, first thing he says when he wakes up is Bhagwan Rama's name, or the first mantra of Shiva Sankalpa Suktam. Yad jagrato duram udaiti tadu suptasya tathaivaiti. That is his bhavana. I go to sleep remembering the Lord, live my day remembering Him, again wake up remembering Bhagwan. That is his bhavana. Kahi satya priya bachana bichari. Next one is a little elaborate one. We can go slow on this. No rush to finish it. Okay. We do have an announcement about our Parayanam, so please stay back. We'll just do the Nama Sankirtanam and then listen to the announcement. Aganita Gunagana Bhushana Rama Ashrita Vatsala Jaya Jaya Rama Ayodhyavasi Sita Rama Apad Bandhava Jaya Jaya Rama Dasharathanandana Shri Rama Dashamukhamardana Jaya Jaya Rama Kausalya Sukhavardhana Rama Kamita Phalada Jaya Jaya Rama Papa Vimochana Shri Rama Pattabhirama Jaya Jaya Rama Janaki Vallabha Sita Rama Jaya Raghurama Jaya Sita Rama Vanara Sevita Shri Rama Varidhi Bandhana Jaya Jaya Rama Hanumat Pujita Sita Rama Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Raghupati Raghava Raja Rama Patita Pavana Sita Rama Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Syavara Ramachandra ki jai Sadgurunath Maharaj ki jai. Shiva, you can go ahead.
Hari Om. Thank you, Sohamji, for the lecture. I just wanted to make a quick announcement about the upcoming Parayanam of Ramcharitmanas. So we have received overwhelming response and sign-ups. About more than 95 people have signed up to lead chanting, and just wanted to let you know that we are working meticulously to assign doha and portions to everyone. So thank you for the patience, and the chanting guide will also should be soon available on the CMSJ website where you signed up initially. So that's about it from my side. Thank you. Hari Om.
Thank you, Shivang. So I think once the assignments are done, all of you can start practicing, learn tunes, all details will be provided.